everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for May 28th, 2020, Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow Tradera call. And that's on the Tradera call line, which is on the website weareonelightfall.net. And so everybody who is with Tradera, recommend you come to that call. I'm also going to be revealing to everyone the new line that we have coming out of the plants and extracts for naturopathy and homeopathy, and so I will be discussing that in a call in the very near future. A lot of people on this planet and in other existences, when you shift with the heart mind, when you become balanced with oneself, and understanding this is your decision, it's your direction, in your own way, you begin to start discovering the fringes of your pure consciousness, of your God. What happens is that all of the attachments and influences of this old world just fall away. You're not interested in it. And not only that, but it disappears, it vaporizes. And when you finally begin to understand it, is that you move everything. Your pure consciousness moves everything. You can see why it can become very dangerous if you have a civilization that is still in a residual bicameral existence, influence, and they have no clue that they're conscious and that they can lead, guide, and govern themselves and think for themselves. And when that happens, you have what we have had here on this planet. It's also a very positive thing for all of us because now we know. We now know that things will never be this way again. And I say never. Oh, don't ever say never. No, we throw that out the window. It will never transpire again. All of this. And you know who the drivers are? We are. Each and every one of us. I mentioned this a long time ago, but understand that throughout any form of history, how many times have you seen one of us, lead many? How many times have you seen that? One who leads many. Okay? Now, that's easy in a bicameral civilization because everybody wants to be led. They feel that's, in bicameral, that's it. That's part of it. You've got to be led, you've got to be told, you've got to be governed, you've got to be told where to go, and you don't step outside of that. Now, flip the switch, and you've got everybody beginning, we can't say everybody immediately, but beginning to embrace the fact that they are individual from this perspective of leading themselves, governing themselves, guiding themselves, thinking for themselves, creating value building wealth for themselves and civilization. That's it right there. They have one prime law. The prime law is do no harm. And our whole intent, all of us, is to make every single one of us wealthy. Every single one of us wealthy. All of us. Every single one of us wealthy. And through our intent, through our meditations, this isn't manipulating. It isn't trying to force anything. It is a global intent. It is a global desire. Not just for a few of us, but for all of us. Not just for a few just a few who deserve the best and the rest don't, but all of us do deserve the best of everything. And that everybody begins to move in a perfect direction. Now imagine the children who are not influenced, have not been distorted, lied to, misguided. The children in the new direction of this planet will become the true sovereigns of existence. And it doesn't to say that the older bodies won't, because there's many of us that are flexible enough that we can shift. We decide to shift. We take our childlike imagination and we put it front and center, and we begin to understand that there is nothing that we cannot create. There's nothing that we cannot create. And when you create from the heart mind, not the ego mind, but the heart mind, you begin to realize, and the ego mind is very tricky, we all know that. It can make you think that you're working from the heart mind. Well, all along, it's guiding you and directing you right into disarray, right into the ground. How do you know when the ego has you? See, most of us aren't conscious of this, but it's so wonderful that many now are becoming conscious of that. But how do you know it has you? You know, because we all have egos, all of us. None of us are exempt. So how do you know when it gets to the point where it's got its grip on you very heavily? It's when you want to carry secrecy from others. It's when you want to advance yourself and you picture certain avenues of your life, but without others. You see what I mean? Only a select few. And that's the danger, that you fall right back in 3D, third dimensional, where there's greed and want and secrecy and, deception and manipulation and disrespect, and all of those things come in when the ego mind has you, and it's basically got a collar around your neck, and it's just pulling you along. And all the time it's saying, you're fine, come on, you're fine, come on. So that's changing. And I'm sure that many of you understand that is the ego mind something that is it an enemy? No, it's not an enemy. Is it a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing. So what is it? It is a state of being. While we're in these physical forms, these holographic images, we have it either as the boss or as the employee. One of the two. It's either the boss or the employee. So you look at that perspective, either the boss or the employee. How many of us praise praise and celebrate our lives? How many of us do that? Praise and celebrate your life. Enrich your life with a daily spiritual experience. How many of us do these things? And how many of us desire to do these things? And how many of us practice these things? Because when we become consciously aware that during the course of the day you can laugh, no reason, you just laugh. During the course of the day you smile. You don't have to smile on the outside, but if you smile big enough on the inside, you're going to smile on the outside. And how many times that when you're in a situation you just go, you know what? Someone says, aren't you upset? Aren't you irritated? Are you worried about anything? Nope. I'm going with the flow. I'm fine. What do you expect is going to happen? I have no idea. Doesn't that frighten you? No? No, it really doesn't. Why are you laughing? Because I'm in joy. What do you have to be in joy about? Look at all this going on around, everywhere. I'm in joy. I am grateful and deep gratitude that I am in this life and I'm experiencing every second of it. See, you're not upset about any of this stuff? No, not at all. You see the difference there? Now you flip the switch, and then you have the other side of it in 3D and bicameral. What am I going to do? Oh, my gosh. Oh, look at these people. They don't have masks on. Oh, my gosh, what are we going to do? Oh, I've got to get to my car. I've got to put something on. You know, it's just, oh, that look at that person. They're touching the produce. Oh, I can't have any of it. You know, I can't watch it. I'm going to have to go to one of the clerks here in the store and have them do that. It's just, you know, that's the difference. We're those of us who are asleep or not conscious in a bicameral mode, that's what happens. When parasitical leaderships dictate to the people on how to do things, that's bicameral, and they do them. Now, obviously, we see those who don't agree with certain things throughout the ages, and then, of course, they protest against it. They're protesting the fact that they don't care to do that. And so it's important that we understand this so that as we progress in our experience in this form of life, we register that. People say, yeah, but you know, you leave the body, you get electrified, you get zapped with electrical charge. Not anymore. Not anymore. So, you begin to understand something. It's you. It is your joy. It is how you experience your joy every single second of your existence. Your joy. Nobody else's. It's how you're celebrating the God within you and you. How do you do that? Do you do that during the course of the day? You know, I mean, ask yourself, do you do that? Do you, in the course of the day, do you laugh to yourself? Do you smile? Do you say how deeply grateful you are for yourself, for your body, for this existence, for every step you take? Are these things that you embrace, or are they far and few between? Are you too caught up in the hustle bustle of 3D when you're not even in it? Okay? You're watching it. You're outside of it. You're watching it. That's all you're doing. You're watching it. You're pretty indifferent to all the shenanigans that are happening. I'm going to give everybody a story, and I'm sure some of you have heard this story, but it's very profound. An old farmer, mature and seasoned, one day was very angry with the God. Okay. He said to God, in his morning prayer, I have to tell it as it is. Enough is enough. You don't understand even the ABC of agriculture. When the rains are needed, there are no rains. When the rains are not needed, you go on pouring them. What nonsense is this? If you don't understand agriculture, you can ask me. I have devoted my life to it. Give me one chance this coming season. Let me decide and see what happens. It is an ancient story. In those days, people had such trust that they could talk directly to God. And their trust was such that the answer was bound to happen. Think about that. They were talking to God, and they believed that they could talk to God anytime they wanted to. Now, it may have been a little twisted where they thought maybe God was outside of them. But the story has great meaning. God said, okay, this season you decide. So the farmer decided. And he was very happy because whenever he wanted sun, there was sun. Whenever he wanted rain, there was rain. Whenever he wanted clouds, there were clouds. And he avoided all dangers. All the dangers that could become destructive to his crops. He simply rejected them. No strong winds, no possibility of any destruction to his crops. And his wheat started growing higher than anybody had ever seen. It was going above man's height. And he was very happy, he thought. Now I will show him. And then the crop was cut. And he was very puzzled. There was no wheat at all. Just empty husks with no wheat in them. What happened? Such big plants big enough to have given wheat 4 times bigger than ordinary wheat, but there was no wheat at all. And suddenly, he heard laughter. Of course, here you got to remember the time, from the clouds. God laughed and he said, now what do you say? The farmer said, I'm puzzled because there was no possibility of destruction and all that was helpful was provided, and the plants were going so well and the crop was so green and so beautiful. What happened to my wheat? God said, because you avoided all the dangers, it was impossible for the wheat to grow. Growth needs challenges. Challenge brings integrity. Otherwise, a person remains hollow and empty. If all facilities are provided for you, and there is no danger in your life, you will remain hollow and empty. God gives life with all its dangers. Now, we translate that, and let's say, we'll say that God is within, which it is, the pure consciousness. And you're going along, and you're designing your life. And in the now, you're creating your future. So as you go along, you're creating this future. Now, do you create where you know everything's going to happen? Why would you do that? You wouldn't. So, the God within creates little things here and there that give you challenge. Not insurmountable, but they give you challenge. So from the challenge, you grow. You learn. You progress. Just like today, in the challenge that we all are being faced with the last vestiges of the control mechanism of the old world. Okay? Just like now, we're being challenged. But the challenge, we expand. We grow. If everything was given to you, everything, all the time, and when you felt that you couldn't do anything, you relied on someone else to do it for you. And of course, you were convinced that it would help you. But where is it in that? that you're never challenged, that you never call upon yourself, and you never derive anything for yourself. You're always relying on someone else or something else to do it for you. This part of what we are leaving, the bicameralism of planet Earth. We're leaving that. We are not coming back to it, ever. So anybody that's homesick from it, you better make sure that you understand that you are leaving that world forever, and you're never going back to it or revisiting it. Are there challenges ahead? Absolutely. We create challenges every day. Are there things that we determine for ourselves that we say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to see what I can learn from it and how well I can get to be at it. And then when I master it, I'll move on to something else, and I'll start that over again and master that. And so on and so forth. We will not gain experience if we don't experience. You see? And that's how the bicameral civilization of this planet has always been. Rely on others to do things for you. Rely on direction, governance, others thinking for you, doing other things for you that you're perfectly capable of doing. And it is how it's structured. So let's look at the old farmer versus God. And the old farmer is you, and the God is your pure consciousness. And that's what that story applies to, with a little tweaking. Okay? Because the God within you shared with you that you avoided all the dangers. And it was impossible for the wheat to grow because of that, and growth needs challenges. The name of this meditation is the old farmer versus God. We're the old farmer. The God is the consciousness within us. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure you all are, we all are. First thing that we want to do is relax. We want to relax our bodies. Let everything roll right off. Let everything drain out. All stress, all anxiety, all of it. Let it all go. Any apprehension, fear, any projections, let go of looking into the future, let go of the past, and just let it all drain off of you so you can completely relax. The body will relax. And as the body begins to let go and relax, you say, body, just keep relaxing. We'll just let this go. You surrender into the God that you are, your pure consciousness. And we move into the now. Now is all we have. We've already experienced the past. Why would we go back to it? We're moving forward in the now, moment to moment, the space between heartbeats. And we continue to learn, to grow, to experience. And the now stills the mind. It stills the ego mind. It stills the subconscious mind. So we don't have all that noise. We all have that noise, that all the thoughts, all these things coming in constantly, nonstop, 24/7. It becomes quiet. And the ego, we say, ego, you're not in charge here. Please take a seat. I'm in charge here. And we create our future from moment to moment. It's what we focus on in the now that begins to create the future for each and every one of us. And it is in the now that we are being. It is in the now that we're in peace. It is in the now that we express gratitude. It is in the now that we express humbleness. It is in the now that we know that we are pure, deep, eternal love. It is in the now that we create our existence. Now, in relaxing the body and being in the now, we want to breathe. And we want to breath in through our noses and breath out through our mouths. And our breath is important because the breath focuses us on the moment, in the now. Not tomorrow, not 10 minutes from now, but the now, the moment, the space between heartbeats. So take this breath and begin to pull it up in through the center of your body as you easily breathe in. No stress, no strain, just easily, naturally breath in. And as you breath in, you literally pull this breath effortlessly from the root chakra, I am, up into the sacral chakra, I feel, up into the solar plexus chakra, I do, up into the heart chakra, I love, through the throat chakra, I talk, through the third eye chakra, I see, and then finally through the crown chakra, I understand. And you move it, and you literally experience it as it passes through the center of your body and through all the chakras. And then you bring it up to the back of your head, and you, for a brief moment, you hold it. I am light, I am love, I am. And in that brief moment, you have compressed it and condensed it into pure liquid energy. And as you do this, you release it over your pineal gland. And as you release it over the pineal gland, you see the pineal gland, it's like a real hard green rosebud, a little tiny knot or prune. And as you do this, it begins to open and it begins to expand. And each time, you do this at least 6 times, each time you pull the breath in, up through your chakras, into the back of your head. Hold it for that brief moment, I am light, I am love, I am, and then release it onto the pineal gland. The pineal gland is like a rose. It begins to open and bloom, beautiful, expansive. But the interesting thing is the petals don't shrivel and die. It continues to expand and grow. And the pineal gland is our gateway to all the particles of existence. It's our gateway to our pure consciousness. It's the gateway to all things. It's the gateway to all existence and beyond. So it's very important to us while we're in these bodies. And as you visualize this through your heart minds, it is happening. That's all. It is happening. And that's what you're doing. And by being focused on it, you become more knowledgeable of it. You become more aware. Before, there was a time we didn't have a clue about any of this. And now, look at us. Now we are one with the heart mind. We are one with the body. We are one with our God. We're all together. And we are all consciously aware that we are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. We have others. We have the archangels, the cherubim, cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. Many, many, many. Trillions. They too are the highest and deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude, and they're consciously aware. They vibrate at a different frequency than we do. They're with us all the time. They give us messages. 50, 60, 70,000 can surround us at any one time. They take up much less space than we do because of their vibrational frequency. We have the Ascended Masters. Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, El Moria, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth. Many, many, many more. And they are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. They have ascended out of physical form, and they hold God form, pure consciousness. And they're around us all the time, and they help us and assist us all the time. See, we all assist each other all the time. We learn from them, they learn from us. It's just constant. We're all constantly perfecting our experiences. So the three groups of us, consciously aware, come together, and we form this, it's a circle of light. It's this brilliant, radiant light. Where does the light come from? It comes from our heart, our God, our pure consciousness at the highest of highest high vibrational frequencies, which is deep eternal love and gratitude, that which we're made of. So this light, compared to the sun in this solar system, the sun is a very dim light, and we fill the darkness of space. We gray it out, and we literally illuminate all things, planets, civilization, everywhere. Now, we are going to call out and group, we're going to gather many. And our next call out is to all of the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. Now, they too are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. And they come in the gigaplexes, which means one gigaplex fills this universe. They come in the trillions from every direction. Understand that we all must be consciously aware that we're of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest of deepest eternal gratitude. Those who try to intervene or come in without that vibrational frequency will immediately be vaporized. Period. This is why we address it with every group. We also call upon all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. Many, 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 many civilizations. They too are consciously aware, they must be consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. And they come in the billions. We call upon all of the galactics, all of the off-worlders, and they must be consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. If they are of low frequency, they will be vaporized. In any low frequency attempting to disperse or to harm any of us will be vaporized into nothingness. there's over 1,000 civilizations that run through this sector of the galaxy, and we're only familiar with just a fraction. Felines, Satyrians, Zeta Reticuli, Pleiadians, Sirians, Andromedans, Arcturians, Avians, Golden Pyramids. There's just, it's endless. We call upon, and they, all of them have been assisting us in our evolution as we have assisted them. They have assisted us in our enlightenment, in our ascension, in freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. We call upon all of our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Not only the ones here, but the ones with all of us that are gathered here for this meditation. It's not just here, it's everywhere. They are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, and this now, and this meditation, and this circle of light. And just to name a few of them, a fraction of them, fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trolls, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire. Ether. The mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur. Many, many, many more. And they come in the trillions, and many shapes, sizes, forms, configurations, and many of which we've never seen before. We're all assembled, we're all gathered. And we're all arm in arm, hand in hand, and we've all literally expanded the circle of light, the halo. Our gods with their gods with ours. We are all in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. And our God-light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. And all of us are the one. And we are all the God, and we are all the love, the pure consciousness. And we all move together in this circle of light, effortlessly above the planet. And as we do, we all come into this beautiful gossamer field of spectacular, brilliant, glittering colors. And these colors remind us all, such as the emerald green flaming healing light, the Archangel Raphael, which is a column that reminds us that we are the power of healing. The violet, blue, purple, flaming light of Archangel Michael reminds us of our power, our strength, and our resolve. The white fire is a column that reminds us of our armor, That armor is impenetrable. It is brilliant, it is made out of pure, deep, eternal love and gratitude. It is of the circle. Only we choose to lower its strength by accepting and surrendering to the lower dark matter frequencies, or the lower survival matter frequencies. When this happens, we're also reminded of the purple transmuting flame. And this column reminds us that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame and we can literally transmute all of these lower dark matter frequencies into neutral light substance. And we literally send them back to the pure consciousness where they are no more. We also are reminded of the violet ray. This is a column that literally reminds us that we can bring it in right behind the purple transmuting flame, and we can purify, cleanse, and balance the area where these frequencies were. And we then bring our field, our white fire armor, back online and in balance of the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest of deepest eternal gratitude. We also have the golden white pink light. This is a massive column that reminds us that we are true, deep, eternal love, the deepest of deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, and peace, benevolence and tranquility, stillness of mind. We are in non-ego, non-negativity, non-judgment, and those of us carrying physical form, so to speak, as we continue up, we literally float above our physical forms effortlessly. And we look up and we see this massive column that we've created. And the column is larger than the solar system. And as we look up at it, in the way we've designed it, it is an ocean in a 360-degree pattern that is cascading, water falling down over everything. And this golden ocean is existence. It is pure consciousness. It is our form. We move the consciousness, which then directs the existence, which then directs the form, and then creates it into a reality. And we continue to create the existence because we are the existence. And we all hold, each of us are drops of that golden ocean that's cascading down around all things, all life, the highest value in the universes. And it is absolutely supremely powerful. And understand that it's flooding this planet and all the civilization on, in, above, and below it. In this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. Now, we also, as we continue to move up, ascend, levitate, we then see a meditative sphere that we've created. We created this sphere over 2 years ago. It's set center circle. It is massive. It holds all of our meditations in perpetual motion. It continues to intensify and expand daily. We have 102 million of us on this planet in this meditation daily. This sphere is omnipotently powerful. It is of the deepest eternal love and the deepest eternal gratitude. It is pulsating. It is so powerful that it can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. It literally saturates and floods all of us, not only our physical form, but our etherical form. Inside and out, head to toe, with the deepest of eternal love and gratitude. And today, we are the old farmer versus the God. And we all continue to intensify, and we all continue to expand. When we look down upon this planet Earth, Gaia, and this now, and this meditation, and this circle of life, all of our brothers and sisters, everyone, bad, good, and different, because they all house the pure consciousness. They all house the pure consciousness of the One. We all do. And we create our lives every step of the way on how we perceive. And we sprinkle a few challenges in there along the way so that we can grow and we can evolve. Hence, the old farmer versus the God. And the old farmer has the God within him or her, and that God is our pure consciousness. It is up to us whether we embrace it or ignore it. And that is the meaning of the story of the old farmer versus the God. I join you in a meditation and return to close us out. nice, easy breath in. Nice and slow. And relaxed breath out. Move slowly. Focus on your breath. Slowly open your eyes. And remember, you're the old farmer, and the God within you, the pure consciousness. So it's the old farmer versus the God. And from what I shared with you today, you understand the meaning of that. Take it with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. Visit it. Embrace it. We'll be back here Friday, May 29th, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.